Hi everyone, I'm Clara, and I love running Dungeons and Dragons games, but I love running them in person. I love building sets and having all the enemies there. You can't always get all of the enemies, and so I'm going to show you a hack for some. And today's enemy is going to be inspired by the coming out of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. One of my favourite kind of enemies, which you see a few times, are the flying swords. But also, while I'm at it, I'm going to show you how to make spiritual weapons as well, using the same sort of technique. So I have a whole bunch of spare parts from Warhammer, and I'm sure I'm not alone, and there's a whole bunch of weapons in there. Some of the swords, they are being held by hand, so I just chopped that off, and it makes the hilt look a bit bad, but don't worry about that, we'll deal with that. Then I'm just going to put a quick hole in the side, and to that I'm going to put some wire and glue that in. Then I'm going to glue some cotton onto where the hilt of the sword is and just wrap it round. And then finish off by gluing it on the end, and it actually looked pretty good actually, and it covers up the mess where we cut the hand off. Then I've got one older flying sword that I'm going to have, so I put some Typhus Corrosion from Citadel on it before I did the base paint, and then with all of them I painted them primer of white to make the silvers really pop. Then for the flying swords I painted the blades lead belcher, and then I highlighted it with lighter silvers, but I've not filmed that here. And then I also painted the hilts various browns and again highlighted them. With the spiritual weapons, I actually painted them chrome from Vallejo, which is a really light silver looking colour, and then covered them over with Mystic White from Green Stuff World. And then I used a sponge to dabble on some candy inks just to give them these sort of mystical swirls. Then I went on and put some Agrat Thurshade in the hilts and on the older sword, and I used some Nuln Oil on the other flying sword and also in the details of the spiritual weapons. I didn't want to cover the whole spiritual weapon, so it's just the details. Once I've done that, I wanted to make some bases, so I have some thin XPS foam. You can use clay as well, and I have this roller from Green Stuff World, but you don't need that. I'm going to show you a different way, but with these rollers you just roll them over the foam and it gives this really great indent. It's brilliant. But if you don't have one of these, which is very reasonable, do some shallow indents with a knife and then use something blunt like a pencil or something to go round those indents. So after that I paint them with Mod Podge. It makes them harder and a bit more sturdy, and then I painted them up. Then the fun stuff, so I've got a glue gun and I just made some wispy glue off the wire of the things, and I tried to make it a bit more 3D, and that was me. That was how I did it. It maybe doesn't look the best, but I think it looks pretty good, so pretty pleased with that. So yeah, it'd be lovely if you came over and watched me do more painting and diorama videos on my channel. I'd love to see you there, and until next time, take care and bye bye.